security order, and then I would come back. But because, as I said, all it takes is one confrontation, and then I could die quite easily, because obviously the injury I've got on my head, it's quite dangerous. So
your head was in bits. Your head was in bits. Who is gonna take that as a risk? Like, as a judge, I think you would be very irresponsible to put you in a prison right now. Like, that would be a fucking crazy, irresponsible decision.
Yeah, but we have to wait and see. But as I said, yes, Kay, Gail, and everyone else. Yeah, as I said, Dom's going to have to. If they don't make the decision and they don't give any sort of answer, I'll just stay in Spain. And then I'll just have to.
You should.
Yeah,
it's just mental, isn't it? It's like, come on, justice system for England. What are you going to win from this? How are you going to win from this? You're going to put someone in prison who's already injured, who hasn't really done that much, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Right now.
You love to put me in prison. No, that's the problem you've got. So it's a case of I can't go to prison as it stands, as I said, because like the situation with me injury. But it's
not even in your head, Sam. Let's be honest. You've got a reputation. You'd be a target in there. Like, it's ridiculous.
The problem is, like, if I didn't have any injury, then I wouldn't give a shit. Like, but the problem I've got is, because I've got an injury, what you could then have is some fucking absolute knobhead who thinks he's smart.
Trying to make a name for themselves.
Would try and fucking sneak up on you. Obviously, you're going to try and defend yourself, but you're not going to be able to defend yourself in the same way you used to be able to. So that would be the problem I've got. That's why I'm trying to get as fit as I can, as quick as I can, because so I don't end up in that position. But I would, if I was in jail in England, that's a fact, I probably would end up in that situation where someone would try something from you.
Just to make a name for themselves. Like, you are vulnerable now. I know you probably don't want to hear this, but you are.
I'm just thinking like a prison officer or something. He would like fucking try and sneak up here, or try and say you've whatever, but then try and do something to you. But like any sort of mark at the moment on my face could potentially kill me. But so that's why I'm trying to get as strong and fit as I can, as quick as I can, because. But that's why I'm not looking to come back to England unless they give me a deal.
Exactly, there's got to be some sort of promise, hasn't it, that ain't going to happen, because I think prison could be a fucking really horrible place for you now, because there'd be that many people. Like,
don't get me wrong, there'd be loads of lads that'd be there who'd be like, nah, we're going to make sure Sam's all right here. So anytime I'd be going out,
I get it.
You'd all be following me, making sure I'm sweet. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you just don't know. The prison could move you to a different jail down London or wherever it is, up in fucking Scotland, whatever, and then you could end up in a different situation. Do you know what I mean? But I do know there would be a lot of prisoners who would be deliberately walking with me to make sure I'm sweet. But at the same time, you just don't know if they move you to a different prison or whatever, and then you end up with some fucking dickhead who just tries to sneak up behind you to get a little name for himself.
Totally. And at the end of the day, you've got 2 babies on the way. Like, you don't want to leave Holly behind with 2 babies, and you've got other babies as well. So
yeah, that's the thing.
Let's be honest. Why would you come back to England unless it's promised that ain't going to happen? You're not going to be slung in a place where you're going to be with the fucking absolute rats of the world. Exactly. No thanks.
So as I said, like it's a case of, if they give me that guarantee, then I'll come back to England. If they don't, then I'll stay here in Spain. It's one or the other. So we'll find out over the next 4. But we might even find out this week.
Hope it goes well. I really, really hope it goes well. Would they have to try you though? Like, put you through a court sentencing? I just don't know.
Yeah, so what do is they put me on remand for, how it would normally work is they put me on remand for about five months until I went up for my trial. That's what would normally happen. You'd be on remand in prison, then you'd have your trial in court. And got not guilty, you'd walk out. So I'd be straight on remand for about 5 months. That would be the fucking issue. But as I said, hopefully, we'll have to wait and see. We'll just have to wait and see what the solicitors say.
I know.
I think
isn't it? We just want you.
She does look good there, doesn't she? Yeah, so I'm gonna get. Yeah, so I'm gonna get some of it as well. Right, let me just put this on charge. I feel quite dizzy when I stand up as well. That's a problem. I feel quite dizzy when I stand up. Just get some drink. Right. Anyway, so what we're gonna do? We're not really gonna battle tonight. We're gonna get some chats on. Should we get some chats on with people? We're gonna do like 2 minutes each person. Anyone who wants to chat, click the link and request, and we're gonna do some chats. We're not gonna do any battles. That's brunch yourself. Yourself, take it easy. That's love. Do you know what? I do get quite thingy. Should we do chats that people can put clip in and just have a little chat? Say whatever you want, and we can just have a little chat. Even if you just want to talk about yourself, like I said, these women that I met last night who had the operations or they were waiting for operations, I come off live and I actually sat there and I was thinking about them. Like that woman who'd had an operation on like the same as I had. She had hers since January. Hers was a lot worse, and she's having this life-changing operation next month. And I was sat there off my live last night thinking, I was really proud of her. Like, I've never even met her, but I was so fucking proud of her when she come in and spoke about it and like what she was going through. I come off my live thinking, fucking good on you. On you, good on you, girl. Just keep fighting. That's it. Cross good on the live last night, and we're gonna get more. Anyone wants to have a chat, right? So we're gonna. I would tell you what. Let's go. So if anyone wants to have a chat, click the live button there, and you can get in for a quick chat. We're gonna do 2 minutes each person. And I've got babies coming along the way, and I thought I can't do it, like. But I was gonna do it because of the pain I was going through, and I just felt like I'd been got to social media. And the reason why I got to social media is when I was by myself, social media allowed me to be able to be mixed with something different than just my suicidal thoughts. So then when I got speaking to people again after a month of silence, it was then I got speaking more and more, and then every day I'm speaking, I'm becoming more and more normal. And it's because of social media. It's because when I'm speaking to yous, when I'm not speaking to yous, I can be quite deep in the sense of how I feel, like for like the pain, whatever else it is. But when I'm live, or like when I'm with my friends, or like a couple of them who are over here. Like today we had a little bit of a chill, we had some food, whatever else. Now I've come home but then when I have the me time, that's when I feel like the pain comes to me. But then when I'm on my TikTok, like when I'm chatting to you, and like fucking you all just popping in, that's when I feel like, okay, well, this is again, and that's why I fight every day to try and get normal, because I've got 4 weeks of going to Africa. Now, people are saying, why are you going to Africa when you've just had a thing where you could have died and your face is still swollen here? I have to lift my glasses up here to wear them. This one's okay, wearing it that way. But people are like, you've got babies coming in 5 weeks. You've nearly just died. You could die on your way to Africa, in Africa. You could be jailed again. Anything could happen. And I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. That's what life is about. I've got twins coming, and the reason I want to go to Africa again is because I want to install fresh water. Install fresh water to two different slum areas again, where they drink drinking sewage water where kids are dying. Where they're drinking sewage water where kids are dying. I want to go back there. In 4 weeks' time, I want to install water in 2 more slums like we done last year, and name them my daughters, right? And my dog. I want to visit my dog. We're in Africa. My dog that saved my life, even though she died, she saved my life. Now I want to go back to her and see her again, and I want to spend a week in Africa installing the water, and then if I'm allowed to go back to England, if the courts allow me to, I'm waiting for my baby's mum, my son's mum, to contact the court, but tomorrow, to see if Sam comes back, he's got these. He nearly died a couple of weeks ago. He's got these massive stills in his head, and he can't fucking breathe properly. Whatever. If he comes back and he hands himself in, can we get a community order sentence where he has to serve his sentence outside of prison, and he can then be out for his baby's birth? If the courts say yes, then I'll go back to England. And I'll go to court, I'll face my sentence, get my community order, my fine, whatever else it is, and I'll spend my 2 years at home with my babies doing my sentence, right? Which is what I've got to do for exposing the identity of John Venables and getting Corey's window smashed. I'm sure Corey would come forward to say that he wouldn't mind me getting a fine instead of a sentence. But exposing the identity of John Venables, that needed to be done, and I've got no sympathy for that. But if they accept that, then I will come home and I'll serve my sentence outside the court, and I mean I can then be there for my baby's birth. But if the courts turn around and say to me, listen, no, we want a sentence from him, then obviously I'm not going to come back. I'm going to stay here in Spain, and then my babies will have to come and see me when they're 4 weeks old. They'll spend a month here, then they'll go back home for a month and come back again for a month. And while they go home, I'll be in Africa. But either way, regardless, I'm going back to Sierra Leone in about 4 weeks. I'm going back to Sierra Leone. And I have to do that regardless of whatever the sentence is. Whether the judge says, yes, we'll give him a fine, or whether he says, yes, no, we want a sentence from him. Either way, whether I'm in Africa or I am in England, I'm going to, so if I'm in Spain or I'm in England, I'm going back to Africa in 4 weeks' time to install water in these areas for these people in Africa. Like we done last time, that's what the TPR does. The only difference is we do jail sentences in Africa for calling out these corrupt charities as well. I can't do that at the moment. I will go back to prison in Africa for calling out corrupt charities, again, on principle, at some stage, probably next year. But at the moment, it's about installing fresh water, going to visit my dog and showing you around Africa, and then coming back home to see my children. And I want it where my kids, when they get older, that they're proud of me, that they can say, believe and look and think, hang on, fresh water's installed in Africa on my birth. On the week I was born, my dad installed fresh water into a storm area in Africa in both our names, in 2 different slum areas. My kids are going to be proud of that. I'm hoping and praying that it makes them want to start going to Africa and making a change there and calling out these corrupt charities. I believe my daughters, that's what they will be doing, calling out corrupt charities, helping install water into slum areas and doing a lot in Africa. That's what I believe will happen with their lives. I do believe that that's what their lives are destined for, and to make changes well bigger than I've ever done. I do believe that. And how that's happening is the fresh water installed in their names. But as I said, 4 weeks I will be in Africa. That's where I'll be, guys. with my illness, whether I'm ill or not, I'm going. And why am I going? Because I need to go. It's the principle that I've got to do it. In my daughter's names. Even my mum said, Sam, it's probably a bit too dangerous for you to go to Africa while you're still sick and like everything's like tight on you. And I said to my mum, I said, Mum, can you stop saying that? I said, I've cut people off in my life. You keep bringing that up, saying that I shouldn't be going, I should go back to England. I said, people need to accept. I said, the same as you, Mum. You need to accept that I'm going to Africa again, even if I'm sick. I'm going to Africa. I'm going to install fresh water into 2 slim areas, and it's going to be named after my daughters. I said, you need to accept that and don't ever question me about it again. I said, because I'm going, whether I'm sick or not, whether my sickness gets worse, I will be going back to Africa. And she said, okay, I won't ask you again to come back to England. I said, thank you, Mum. And that was it. That's how the conversation was with me, Mum. I said to her, don't ever bring it back up again, Mum. I said, because if I say I'm going somewhere, then I'm going. Don't ever question what I'm doing. And she went, I only want to go, I'm just trying to look after you. I said, well, you're looking after me by not trying to question what I'm doing. I said, because if I was to die in Africa, for me, that would be a justified death. Because I'd rather die in Africa trying to install fresh water than to die in the UK, walking to a fucking shop or just sitting on my ass, Mum. I said, that's just how I am, Mum. I said, obviously not everyone's like that, Mum. I said, you're not like that. I said, but I am. I hadn't spoken to her for 2 years. And she was like, okay, Sam, I won't ever ask you again. And I said, like, okay, thank you, Mum. And that's it. And I have to go. I don't know what it is. It's fucking weird. Like, someone just saying to me, I've got to go back. Just before my babies are born. They're born in 12 weeks, so I'm going in 4 weeks. I'm going to be there just under 4 weeks. I'm going to be there dead on foot just before, 2 days before the babies are born. Something tells me I need to go, and you've got to understand when something tells... I've done a lot in Africa, like, I've installed fresh water into loads of slums. I've got kids, the operations with cataracts, mothers, the operations with cataracts so they can see. A little child who was dying of cancer. I got jailed for her over some man who's robbery. The man sadly lost his life a few days later because we got the money back and he attacked us and he lost his life. I was arrested for that. I was given no further action because he come for us first. Those who followed me for a long time will remember that. But Africa, I've done so much good there. I mean, diamonds, like going straight to the diamond fields, directly straight there, cutting out all the middlemen. That's something that's not done. People don't do that from England, where they just go straight directly to the source. I done that. I went straight there, cut out all the middlemen, and achieved what people said could not be done. And it's all online. People know about it. People have seen it. The videos are out there. But I'd done that, and I believed I could do it, and I did do it. I achieved what people said couldn't be done, and I got me diamonds directly from the mine. And I achieved a lot in Africa based on that. And then also when we done it, so many people on TikTok were like, Sam, can we get involved? Can we do something? So I set up a thing, and I think it's about 10,000 was raised, and we done water wells in different areas and operations for cataracts. And that was where people off TikTok come together. And the haters hated it. You'd be like, no, don't do it, guys. And they hated it, like, because they were seeing that I was achieving things that they could never ever do. And then he tried to slag me off over it. But as I said, I'll be going back to Africa. I'll be doing fresh water again. And I might do a couple of operations for cataracts for kids again. While we're waiting for the stuff to be made, the fucking water. Yeah, so that's the plan. So I will be going. Will you be safe over there? I've got friends over there. The problem is, this is why I can't call out charities over there in a couple of weeks when I go back over, because I'm sick, and I am sick. I'm quite vulnerable at the moment. I really am. Like, people know that anyway. It's like I'd be safe in the sense of with the people in Africa. Where it wouldn't be safe is if the police arrest me and put me in prison. That's when I wouldn't be safe, because the conditions I've been in prison twice in Africa, and the conditions are really, really rough. It's a third world country. But as I said, my plan is not to cause trouble in that country while I'm going over there this time, because I've got to be back in time for my babies being born, and I have to install the fresh water in 2 different areas on behalf of my twin girls and my dog. And I have to get back to, if I'm allowed back in England, I'll be going to England. If I'm not, I'll be coming back to Spain. So yeah, I'll be safe. It's just I need to make sure that I don't get a bit ecstatic and get a bit where I want to start calling out charities, because I need to think of the babies. Don't get me wrong, if I didn't have the babies coming, regardless of how I am now, I would be calling out corrupt charities in Africa, as we've done last time when I was jailed, where that charity was meant to be looking after children. You all know about that one. When I said, why are you not looking after these children? They were saying these are not they're not our purpose. So I got them all the street kids, and we done a protest outside the corrupt charity, and I was jailed for that. I was put in prison for that, and I went to prison proud. I really did. Like, it was horrible conditions, but I was proud. I was proud that we had stood against these corrupt charities. And even though they jailed me, and when I got released, I was then arrested by the military police. I was arrested by them on other conspiracies, which were just bullshit, as if I was going to plot to kill them and all that, which is a load of bullshit. But he done that as an excuse to put me back in prison. I was there for probably four weeks, and then the government got me out. The government were like, this man is not guilty. I got released, and then they tried to kill me in the airport, in the restaurant. Me and my friend drank drinks which were poisoned. I nearly died then in the hospital. Those will remember. What else? Then I met my dog, and my dog saved my life, because by me being in a home with my dog, it took me away from everything. It took me away from the diamonds. It took me away from the protest, and it took me away from everything, being with my dog. And I can only thank my dog for that. Like, my dog, I'm just uploading my competition page. This is my competition page, those who aren't on it. Let me just get my dog up, because I'm so fucking proud of her, you know. God bless her. Like, she was a street dog that I found in Africa. Where is she? I'm so fucking proud of you, know. This is in Africa. I'm just so fucking is, because she sees exactly what so many people miss out on, being able to buy lovely luxury stuff because of the prices of it. So she said to herself and to other people, said, well, instead of me making massive profits on this business, I'm still going to make a profit, because I have to, obviously, because it's business, and I've got a life to live. But I'm going to do it at a price where people can afford it, and I still make a profit, but it's not going to be a massive profit like all these fucking businesses. I'm going to undercut them all. And that's what she's done. So she's just put class and cheap prices together, and then developed the business, as you've seen there. And the women on there have got fantastic bottoms. Fantastic. I can't, there's nothing I can say other than the bottoms are fucking fantastic. I'll say that with the most respectful of ways, in the fact that I'm going to get my girlfriend some beautiful outfits from there. because the bottoms will look fantastic. It's the same with I've 10 people on our page I've won. Well, they haven't won. They've been given it off on behalf of me. Outfits, they can pick whatever outfit they want on there, and it's free of charge. And their bottoms will look fantastic. Can we just put love out in the chat for how brilliant the ladies' bottoms will look once they try the outfits on. The bottoms are going to look fantastic, and I expect we expect a photo. This page, give it a follow. Give the page a follow, and then click the link in the bio, and it'll take you straight through to the competitions. Someone has just won 500 quid. Someone else won money as well. So many people are winning. I'm buzzing. Someone just won 500 quid. Fucking made up. Whoever it was, if you don't mind, some people like to stay anonymous, but if you don't mind letting people know who you are, just so people know it's fully legit. Because there's new people who have just joined who probably a little bit sort of not too sure. But also there's already loads of people. Yes, 500. Oh, someone else won 500 quid as well. So yeah, 500. So 100 as well. I'm fucking buzzing when people are winning. You know, absolutely love it. Mods, can you start pinning, please? The competition page and the people who win. I made up that people have actually won. That's what I want on the competition page. So who was the winner? Someone just won 500 for the chat. From the chat as well. Hopefully some stage today they'll put a comment in and say, yeah, I won. And this is what I want. I want people to win on the competition page. It gives me nothing, so much satisfaction, nothing more satisfying than that. It's like that guy yesterday who I sent £500 to, right? The one who's looking after his dogs and his animals. I sent him that £500 on our behalf, right? Even the competition page, it was on behalf of the competition page as well as everyone on our team. That's why I sent him the 500 quid for his animals, right? And then I'll be sending him another 500 quid when he reaches his target of 3,000. I'll send him the last 500, sorry, 500. But this is the thing, and this is what I'm saying to you about, like, when it comes to money, she can't come because it's on sub. It's not on sub. This isn't on sub, is it? Everyone can talk, can't they? This isn't on sub, is it? Is this on sub? Is this on sub? Yes, it is. Sub chat, Sam. Fucking, I didn't even know that. How can I turn that off? I've had that on actually because I've been obviously sick. Yeah, can we... Someone said no, it's not. Katie said no, it's not. Let me have a look if I can turn it off. Comments. No, that's just comments. It is sub. Okay, mods, you're probably going to have your hands full blocking people, these little weirdos when they come in. Chat, your chat. What's this? Use chat to change. Let's see. Chat change. So I think this might be it. Let me just change it. How can I do it right there?